The radio is a thin thread in the dark. It hisses. A voice whispers, "Alpha Team report." The sound is close, a thought more than a sound. It is not loud. It is barely a lifeline in the vast, empty night. The whisper repeats, a patient, looping question that hangs in the air like dust. It is the only thing that feels real in this place. The hiss of static is the sound of distance. The voice is a small, human spark trying to cross it. Corporal Reed sits on the low sandbag wall. He is awake. He has been awake for what feels like days, his eyes gritty and sore. The desert night is cold. Stars hang low and sharp like chips of ice on black velvet. The other men in his unit sleep in their bunks. The fire at the distant watchtower is a dull orange coin. Reed checks his rifle. It is clean. It is heavy and sure in his hands. He listens to the whisper on the radio. It keeps moving like sea foam on a dark shore. It says the same thing, over and over. "Alpha Team, report." The voice is calm, almost mechanical in its repetition. Reed answers with the day's code, his own voice a low murmur that barely disturbs the air. The radio holds him. It makes the world small, just the space between his ear and the speaker. It makes him feel small and, in a strange way, safe. The desert is too big to think about all at once. The radio shrinks it down to a single, manageable point of contact. Then one of the men at the gate coughs. It is a small noise, a simple human noise that breaks the spell. The radio hiss seems to fade for a moment, pushed back by the sound of a living throat. Reed looks up from the radio, his gaze sweeping across the dark perimeter. He sees a pair of eyes in the dark. They are not the eyes of a man or any animal he knows. They glow like hot coals, two burning points of light. They wait in the open, far beyond the sand berm. He blinks, but the eyes are still there, steady and unmoving. Yeah, they just keep watching. Reed does not jump. He does not shout. His training takes over. A calm, cold logic settles over his fear. He breathes once and counts to 5. The eyes blink, slow and languid, as if someone is testing him, watching his reaction. They are not human eyes. The light inside them moves, swirling like a guttering fire. The glow is not reflected. It comes from within. Reed picks up his radio and calls for the man on watch at the western gate. The man, a private named Garcia, slips on his boots without a word. He takes the night vision scope and crawls to the top of the berm. The scope shows a thin, dark shape. It is low to the ground, almost crawling. It moves with small, quick, unnatural steps. The scope shows no face, no fur, no skin. Only 2 points of light where the eyes should be. The lights seem to watch the scope directly, as if the shape knows it is being observed, as if it stares back through the lens into Garcia's own eye. Reed feels his chest tighten. He has seen war. He has seen terrible things that men do to one another. He has seen men break and try to laugh it off. He has seen fear in its rawest forms. This is not the same. Something older. Something slower and more deliberate. He thinks of ghost stories his grandmother told him. He thinks of his mother calling him to dinner from the back porch. He thinks of a monster in a book he read as a kid. The thoughts buzz like flies.
"Garcia," radio whisper. "Nothing, Corporal. No movement on thermal. Eyes only. It is just watching us." Narrator. The private's voice is a whisper now. Procedure gone, replaced by stark fear.
Reed remembers the wire they buried last night. A simple tripwire connected to a flare alarm. He remembers the simple rules drilled into him. Light the flare. Call for backup. Do not run. You stand your ground. You face what comes. He moves slowly, his body low and tight. He reaches for a flare, his fingers closing around the cold metal tube. He clicks the cap off with 2 fingers, the small sound loud in the tense silence, dense with the promise of sudden blinding light and the sharp smell of chemicals. A weapon against the darkness. He keeps his eyes locked on the 2 glowing points, refusing to look away, refusing to show fear. The thing beyond the berm takes 1 slow step forward. The sand seems to curl away from its feet and then lies perfectly still, The eyes grow brighter, the glow intensifying until a faint, pulsing circle of pale light. In that dim aura, Reed sees torn cloth on its back and old marks that look like scars carved into dark wood. He sees nothing else. The radio hisses and then drops to a low, mournful moan, like wind through a broken pipe. "Who are you?" He half says it. The words barely a breath. He knows no answer will come. The question feels thin and foolish in the cold air. The thing tilts its head, a jerky, canine motion. The light in its eyes pulses once. It is listening to the radio. It seems to know the voice, to recognize the broken signal. "Command, radio distant. Alpha team, hold your position. Reinforcements are inbound." The voice is distant but clear, a voice of authority from another world. The thing flinches when it hears that voice. The glow in its eyes blinks and drops, its presence diminishing. It heard the call. It understood. Reed stands. He lifts the flare high. He does what he was taught. He throws the flare not at the thing, but at the sand between them, aiming to create a wall of light. The flare sails in a high arc and lands with a small, metallic thud. A small flame sputters, then erupts into a brilliant orange glare. It smells of burning rubber. It smells of old oil. For a moment, the world is just men. For a moment, the world is just light. For a moment, the world is just sharp shadows. For a moment, Reed thinks this will end. He thinks light will win. Then the sound comes. It is not a roar. It is not a scream. It is a low, pressing weight in the air. The sound of many small bones tapping together in a slow, deliberate rhythm. The thing does not run from the light. It walks through the light as easily as water walks through a net. The chemical fire does not burn it. The smoke curls away from its path. Reed hears a voice in his ear. It is not coming through the radio. It is a soft, slow whisper from directly behind him. He turns fast, his rifle swinging, his heart hammering. There is no one there. The sand behind him is disturbed. It shows prints, not human. A large hand pressed flat and then pulled, leaving 5 deep furrows pointing directly toward him, stopping just behind where he stood. He looks back up. The thing is only a few feet away now. Its eyes are full fires, a first raging inferno, a second raging inferno. In their light, Reed sees teeth like jagged bits of dark metal. They do not shine. They drink the flare light into a black, endless maw. Reed raises his rifle. He squeezes the trigger once. Muzzle flash blooms, a white star. A deafening crack shreds the night. The thing shudders. Its form ripples. It takes a single step back. The bullet did not stop it. "Run!" A slow, heavy knock at Reed's chest. From the inside, a hand of impossible cold closes around his heart. His lungs fold up small. He is frozen, a statue of a soldier. The world narrows to 2 burning eyes. The light becomes a torrent. It fills the desert, then pours into Reed. 100 small forgotten war faces swirl. Flags snap, boots click, names on a map. The thing plucks these memories like rare glass. It is not killing him. It is erasing him. Reed drops his rifle. An empty combat boot lies on its side in the sand. He thinks of his mother. Dinner on a warm stove. The radio's thin whisper, his last thread to home. The thread snaps. The light consumes everything.